Hello there, morons. It's Victor, GimmeAbreakman, GimmeFlakeman with a laundry video. Laundry video is a video you don't actually have to watch. Just enjoy the view. But today, I feel like looking at you, or having you look at me. I don't know why I turned the camera this way. I should be showing you the road, right? Because I'm on the road. But you've seen the road. It's just the road. Just watched the last episode of Sopranos. It's my second round. Of course, I saw Sopranos many years ago. I bought all the Sopranos DVDs years ago when it was expensive to buy. And actually, in those days, very few people had DVDs. The switch was coming from video to DVD. And all my friends were dying to get The Sopranos. And they cost a lot, so everyone chipped in like 1,000 yen. Yeah, looking back, I think I said, hey, if you want to chip in, that's great. I'll lend them to you. So I watched them and lend them out to people, and people would pay me $10 to watch them. Just a few, though. Not like I made any money, but it helped defray the cost a little bit. That seemed like something I would never do now, but it seemed appropriate at the time. Anyway, today I'm here to talk about plastic surgery. I got a nose job. And you might think, well, it looks the same to me, right? Actually, this is the same nose you've ever seen. You've never seen my original nose. But guess what? That looked the same too. It just looked a little bit younger. When I was 17, I just turned 18, New York City. It was Halloween, and I dressed up like a woman. One of my friends, female friends in the dorm. I was living in New York City and New York University, and living in the dorm Judson Hall. It's now a legal building, or they have classrooms there now, but it used to be a dormitory. And they anyway, one of my dorm mates, I guess. Of course, I didn't live with that one. What was her name? I don't remember her name. She was this beautiful white blonde. When I say white, I mean her skin was so white it was almost weird. But she was gorgeous. We were very, very nice, and we were all friendly and shit. And she goes, why don't we dress you up as a woman? So I did. I dressed up as a woman. I was 18, and it was Halloween, so exploring new things. So I went out. We got drunk. Went outside to Washington Square Park, and this Puerto Rican group was over there. They were sitting around with their tall boys in paper sacks and brown paper bags, right? In New York City, you can drink alcohol. Well, I think it's illegal to drink alcohol outside, but if you put them in a brown paper sack, the cops don't bother you. I've also seen people smoking joints in New York City in Washington Square Park, and the cops would come by and say, "Hey, dude, you know you're not supposed to do that." So anyway, I'm sitting there with my girlfriend, female, not romantic partner, but anyway, and these Puerto Ricans, I'm thinking they're Puerto Ricans. It could be a racist thing. They could have been Mexicans. It could have been Guatemalans. Who knows? But these Hispanics are giving me shit, and I'm like, give me, fuck off. And I think I might have given one of them the finger. So the big one comes over. He was really big and stocky and kind of fat, and he punched me in the face. And I got up again, so he punched me again and broke my nose. Now, at the time, I did not know it was broken. And I was, finally, my female friend stepped in, like, stop. And there were like four of them. Four of these guys, maybe five. I don't know, who knows. But she took me back to my dorm, which was very close, luckily. And I went back in there, and you know how hard it is to get mascara off your face? And I was drunk, to be honest. This is a long time ago. I was 18. 18 in 1 month. And I was like, I got to go out there and fucking defend my honor, man. I'm going to go out there and attack these guys. But I'm in the mirror, and I can't fucking get the mascara off. And I'm like, I can't go out there with mascara. And it was really upsetting. I wasn't crying or anything, but I was like really frustrated. Like, I can't go outside with mascara on. It just doesn't look right. Anyway, I'm sure they were probably gone by that point. Anyway, so my nose was broken. And what had happened was, I guess, as a result of that, and I don't know if this is medically possible, some of this information may not be true, but if it is, it's not because I'm lying, it's just I don't remember right. I had a deviated septum, if I remember correctly. Remember, this is a long time ago, about over 30 years ago. And eventually, I had trouble breathing. I was always stuffy, So I go back home. Go back home over the summer or the winter or something. And my mom's like, well, you got to get an operation, right? So they take me into the hospital, and they're like, I see a doctor, and he's like, well, you got a deviated septum. You need to get that fixed. so you got to undeviate something, which means you got to go in, re-break my nose, and put these tubes in there to straighten the passages in my nose because I can't breathe right because my nose is all screwed up inside. It didn't look that bad, and I don't think you can even tell it was ever broken. But that at that moment, my mom says, "Well, this is a great opportunity for you to get a nose job." And my reaction was, "What? No way! Why would I do that?" She's like, no, there's nothing wrong with your nose, but you could, get it, whatever. I don't know. She thought they could improve on this. Can you believe that anyone could improve on this? It's amazing, right? Yeah, she just suggested, why don't we improve on that? Improve on the nose. And this is beautiful. Let me just see if I can turn this around so you guys can see this. Oops, excuse me. I think you just looked up into my nose. That's gorgeous, right? La, la. Driving with one hand. Give me shit, guys. Give me shit. There's always going to be some busybody in the comment, "Hey, it's dangerous what you're doing." No, I'm actually keeping my eyes on the road. Right. Anyway. But actually, technically, you're not supposed to, you're not supposed to touch your cell phone when you're driving. Hands on the wheel. Okay. So don't do it. It's illegal. To actually even just touch it, even just hold it. Wrong. So, get back to the story. Now, years and years have passed, and my initial attitude towards plastic surgery is it's fake, it's unnecessary, phony people do it. But then people in my family, not immediate family, but there were people in my family who got it. And my initial reaction was, what? Why would you do that? What's wrong with you? Only insecure people do shit like that. But, after it was done months later, I would see these people again, and they looked good, and they seemed happy. And in the end, they weren't hurting anyone. And, as I grew older, I got a little bit less judgmental. When maybe you don't know, but when you're younger, everyone knows everything. They're like, oh, you're dumb, what is it? Young, dumb, full of cum. And that sperm pressure, builds up in your brain, and because you're not having enough sex, because you're a virgin and a loser. And eventually, what happens is you have this false, you have a sense of self-confidence that is not deserved, an undeserved a sense of self-confidence, the arrogance of youth, if you don't mind me saying. Charlie Hunan's character says that when he's fighting Jude Law in the movie Cold Mountain, I believe. But it's something I've always thought of. When you're young, a lot of young people, not me, I never had this problem, but when they're really young, they're really arrogant about their opinion, and they think they're right, and they think they know better than their elders, which is such a fucking ridiculous thing to say, because the older people have lived through it, and they've been young, so they've been exactly where you are. Why wouldn't they know better? They're too old to know. It just doesn't make any sense. But for some reason, young people who are supposed to be open-minded are some of the most closed-minded people when it comes to things like common sense and age. One of those things is age, right? Ooh, see you, buddy. That's street legal, I guess. And his number is 7. Yeah, from Mia. He's a little bit far from home here. Okay, that makes sense. So let's go back to Okay, there we go. Anyway, so as I've gotten older, I've gotten less judgmental, and I realize what things are really important. And my opinion about facial reconstruction and all that stuff is, well, of course, if there are two types. One is reconstruction, which is if someone is hurt or they have something wrong with them and they need it fixed, then you get plastic surgery. Is that called cosmetic surgery or reconstructive surgery? I'm not sure. I think it's reconstructive surgery. Maybe it's the same. But if you think about it honestly, people who are against plastic surgery should technically be against all plastic surgery or all changing of the face, which means you should be against earrings, you should be against tattoos, you should be against braces, because braces are not natural either. So people who put down people who get plastic surgery because it's unnatural, well, that's, I think, hypocritical, unless you're against everything that is unnatural. So if you're really against changing what is natural, then you shouldn't shave. You shouldn't get glasses. You shouldn't get braces. Well, maybe glasses are okay because you need them to see. So maybe you're okay with things that are practical. But if you want to, but fashion, I mean, if you want to look good, that's also dressing up the package, isn't it? And isn't that all that plastic surgery is? And bottom line, keep this video shorter than I usually make them. You know, you're not hurting anyone. So if someone wants to get a nose job, fine. I do think that it becomes sad when someone gets addicted to it and they go crazy. There was that woman, actually, she was arrested just 2 days ago. This is one of the reasons I'm bringing this up. This woman who's famous for it, she's a New York socialite. You'll have to look up her name. I don't remember. Look her up and put her in the comments, please. That's your assignment. She's 71 years old and she's dating a 49-year-old, which is my age. Can you imagine me dating a 71-year-old woman? Whoa, that's... But she had extensive plastic surgery. She looks terrible. She looks like the lion from Beauty and the Beast, or the beast from Beauty and the Beast. Just her face is all puffed up and crazy. Pretty gross. Yeah, she looks terrible. I think she went overboard. But if you're getting like something done, why not? You know, if it improves your life and the way when you wake up and look in the mirror and you just feel a little more comfortable with yourself, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I've also in my youth been critical of people who get wigs or toupees. But again, if it makes you feel better, why not? You know. Now, of course, I don't have that. I have a nice head of hair still. But I've always thought if I ever start losing my hair, I'll just shave it off. I'll go short, whatever. But again, if someone wants to do that, there's nothing wrong with it. And yeah, bottom line, if you're not hurting anyone, who cares? It's fine. That's basically all I got to say about it. Now, people have asked me my opinion on this, and that's really all I got to say about it. There was a more specific video that I put on Patreon, so if you want to see that, it's on Patreon only. But that was a little bit too personal, so I'm not putting this out, and not about me, but it was a little too personal about other people, so I didn't want to put that out on YouTube here for the general public. You know, I think people who give other people shit for plastic surgery are actually hypocritical, because if your argument is that the nakami, or the content, or the personality of a person is actually more important, and that's what we should be focusing on, then it really shouldn't matter what a person does to their outer package if it is not impacting you or affecting you in any way. If someone wants to get earrings or tattoos or get their teeth straightened or hair implants or a nose job or an eye lift or an ear, like Brad Pitt had his ears pinned back a little bit, because if you look back old I'm pretty sure this is true, old Brad Pitt photographs, his ears are kind of sticking out. Now they're back a little bit. You didn't even know that probably until I told you, but who cares? You know, it makes you feel a little bit better. And I will tell you something. I've known older women, not that I've been in a relationship with it, but I've known older women who had face jobs, or what's it called, facelifts. And when they first get it, it's a little bit shocking. They look really like their face is like, you know. But as time passes, after the face loosens up a little bit, so initially right after the plastic surgery, which is by the way not to be taken lightly, this is major surgery. So that is one thing against plastic surgery. I will say that some plastic surgeries, some cases are extremely major operations and should be considered that, and are dangerous. In fact, Kanye West's mom died because of, I think she was getting some plastic surgery done. Look it up. I may be wrong. I don't really care about Kanye West. He's one of the people in the world who annoys the hell out of me. But anyway, after the initial, you know, shock of having your face pulled back like that, after it loosens up a little bit, you know, she looked a lot better and surprised. And actually, now many years later, she's I guess she would be considered an elderly woman. She looks great. She honestly looks wonderful. So, and she feels good. And her husband thinks she looks good too. Now, he hasn't had any plastic surgery, but he thinks his wife looks great. So, and he never encouraged it. He never actually wanted it. He was against it, but he thinks she looks great. So, what's the big deal? So, bottom line, if it doesn't hurt anyone, don't be critical of other people. Don't be judgmental. If someone is doing something that has nothing to do with you, and if they're happy, then shut the fuck up and let them enjoy their life. Life is short, and as much as we want to feel better about ourselves by leaving shitty comments on YouTube videos or judging other people, you know, why don't you control yourself and work on yourself? How can you improve your life? That's what I got to say. It's a beautiful day. It is now December, I think, 11th. And before I sign off, I'll give you an image of a bridge as I go over. And I implore you all to, don't be dicks to each other. Be nice to each other. And who cares if other people do things as long as it's not impacting you and if they're not hurting anyone, including themselves, right? There you go, guys. Thanks for watching. You guys have a great day. And thanks for watching, and support the videos by thumbs up, etc.